Rush. And I want to say congratulations to the Super Falcons. I hope I got that right. Currently, at this moment, they are leading 2-1 to South Africa. So, congratulations to Nigeria. And I think this is a good news. This is really good news. And I hope the South Africans will not be angry about this, but it's a victory for us. So, congratulations to us. Okay. Now, interestingly, on the Evening Rush, you know how we look at issues across Nigeria's socio-economic and political landscape. We look at topical trending issues that actually took the airwaves across, the headlines that set the buzz for the conversation. And one of the things we do right on this program or at VOP in general is that in most of these issues, we break it down to have an edible comprehension of this issue. So we're not talking about issues from a prism of ignorance. There's no generalized angle to looking at these issues. We're coming from an intellectual perspective with the analysts that we have in the studio from a well-informed angle, and we properly educate ourselves on these issues. My name is Esther Nwachukwu. So if you're joining us for the very first time, welcome to the Evening Rush. My name is Esther Nwachukwu. You can join us virtually. We stream on YouTube Live. So any of our programs, in case you want to watch it back later, so you have a better understanding of what was discussed right here, we stream it live. If you also want to join us, that is virtually join us any part of the world, well, you're free to do so. So go onto your mobile phones, go into the application YouTube, type VOP 903 FM, and voila, you'll be there to watch us live in the studio. Once again, I officially welcome you. Quite a number of issues actually took place today. Some of us must have actually heard about it, how Natasha earlier today, while she wanted to visit or be part of the National Assembly process to represent her constituents, was denied access to the National Assembly. And if you had listened to me during the World News at 6, I had to ask my analyst. I said that is it the fact that political elites do not obey court order? And he said, well, he had a couple of questions concerning the judgment, and that Natasha actually spoke to journalists afterwards by saying that she would get back to her lawyer, escalate this matter, and that it's a rape of our democracy. We cannot continue to do things in such a manner, regardless of your ranking politically in the country. So yes, that's another angle we're going to look at today in the course of the conversation. Another thing to also consider is the Now Fund. It's a very beautiful initiative, actually, and I must say, based on some testimonies, or will I say evidence I've been seeing across on social media, that there are some students who have been benefiting from the Now Fund, and we've been seeing their reports and saying thank you to Now Fund. But here is the issue actually with the Now Fund. Sometimes they get their upkeep delay, which is normal. There is usually bureaucratic bottlenecks when it comes to things like this from the federal government. But there are certain regions who are not participating in this, and one of those regions are some persons from the southeast, some persons from the south. The north actually does have an opportunity for this, the southwest too. But is it the fact that they're not properly educated on how to go about the Now Fund, or is it just this general dispassionate attitude towards anything that comes from the federal government? So if you look at how the southeast sometimes behave when it comes to things like this, I'm just talking. I have my analyst in the studio who is going to give us a logical breakdown of what I am talking about. Anything that comes from the federal government, sometimes there's this attitude of, concern us. Let's just hustle and see how we can live our life. They know they sent us before, so I don't trust this thing where they want to. And they usually lose out when it comes to all these national initiatives that has to do with their welfare and, education, healthcare. They usually, lose out. I remember recently, one of the army PRO went to Anambra State to visit the Anambra State governor, and he complained that when it comes to the quota system, that the Southeast is underrepresented. A lot of them are not in the army, and they're supposed to be represented. And a lot of persons from that region say, oh, when I want us to die, we never die for when I finish. When I want us to die, what would you give us afterwards? We would die on the war front. In some instances, there are complaints that they're not properly taken care of, or they're not provided with absolute weapons. They take them to the battlefield and they just die needlessly. Sometimes their family members are not properly taken care of. The salary is nothing to write home about. So how come this time around you want us to be part of the process? But it's not just in this regard. Other system that has to do with the quota representation too, they're usually not part of it. So is it that they're not enlightened? Is it that there is no orientation in that regard? Or is it this general nonchalant attitude of, well, they know they sent us before, so how we take notes that this one will concern us? I don't know if you understand the prism I am coming from. We need to educate ourselves on that. Also, we heard about insecurity. There have been a spread of insecurity along that axis. There have been complaints that it is Fulani terrorists, especially from Ebonyi State, from Enugu State. Killings ongoing in the southeast, devoid of the youth. It's deserted. And the question is, what is going on? What are the Southeastern governors doing? What are the Southeastern House of Rep members doing? Why are they not talking? Why are they not speaking? And is it we're always calling on the federal government? This time around, we should ask our governors, we should ask our senators, what is your responsibility in regards to the security of your state? As you do know, Chukwuma Soludo actually had a town hall meeting with some persons, I think somewhere outside Nigeria, where he gathered, and he said that 99.9% of the insecurity in the states is being caused by the indigenes themselves. That was a very, very serious thing to actually, unpack and look into. He said, based on the cases that he had access to, that the security report has been given, almost 99% of the insecurity bedeviling that access or his location is by the people of the state. So all the people that have been complaining and coming out ask questions that, the Fulani terrorists are the ones attacking us, are they lying? Enugu women came out sometime to protest and the soldiers stopped them. Sometimes the Southeastern governors don't even want this report to be out there. They try to silence it. The media doesn't really report it, especially the media from that state. There is a backwardness when it comes to infrastructural development in some of the Southeastern states. Aside from possibly Abia, Enugu is also doing some things, but Imo State is, I don't understand what is going on there. These are some of the conversations we're also going to be having. Meanwhile, Atiku Abubakar has actually come out to call out Okpebolo and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and basically the All Progressives Congress that nothing must happen to Peter Obi for whatever reason at this point in time. He said categorically that a threat against Peter Obi is a threat against all of us, meaning all of them are the coalition, all the Nigerians. He said, for example, let it be well known, Nigerians should rally around the ADC. For example, any threat on any one of us, any threat on anybody's life is a threat to us. He basically responded to that. Balaji Abdullahi too has come out to respond to the threats, on Peter Obi's life. Now, today as well, News on Wiki went to Edo State to commission one of the projects there. And he said, Governor Okpebolo, what you said was right. I made reference to when Peter Obi visited him or wanted to visit him during the campaign. And Peter Obi actually had to seek permission. He called and he provided logistics. So why will Peter Obi come to his state to politic in the name of coalition and not tell the governor of the state he's coming around? So if anything happens to him, they will say it's the APC or the party or just because they're in the coalition and that's why they're targeted. These and more are some of the issues we'll be discussing this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I'm inviting you to join us on the program. Your contribution will be so well welcome. I actually have right here in the studio Lolo Ineka. Welcome, Madam Pinto, also known as Madam Pinto. Madam Pinto, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much, Esther.
I'm so happy that you're with us today.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I also have Mr. Lawal Ekundaya as well. Mr. Lawal, good evening. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, everybody.
All right,
nice
welcome. Lolo, let's head on to it. Why is it that when it comes to initiatives that Nigerians will benefit from the government, that specifically from the southeast, is this either nonchalancy or they're not properly educated on how to have access to it? This now fund, we've been seeing a lot of persons give reports that they're getting something, they're doing okay. There are some complaints, skirmishes as to the upkeep because they send the money to your institution. So you tell them the name of your school, what department you are, your matric number, all those documentations are sent. And then if you request and they, basically they send your money to your school, to the school. And then after you're done, possibly you can pay back with no interest. And a lot of the students are, taking advantage of that initiative. That's what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said he was going to do. Now, it's a very laudable one. But if you look at the number of students, according to NELFund, they said about more than 400,000 students have actually taken advantage of that initiative for their loans. But if we look at some certain regions, especially the southeast, there's usually that lack of representation. So is it that they're not properly oriented into how to go about it, or anything that has to do with the government, they don't trust it to want to go into it, or maybe they think that when it comes to them, they may not even be chosen, they may not actually pay attention to them. I don't know if you understand where
yes,
I am coming from.
I get you clearly, Esther. You know, sometimes when we talk about the marginalization in the Southeast, people think it's a joke. It's not a joke. If you look at appointments, federal character, the way things are being shared, why do you think the NEPTOP fund would be different from what is obtainable in the federal characters in Nigeria? The point is that these things are assessed online.
Okay.
You'll be surprised that people from the Southeast will try to access this, they won't get through.
Are you sure it's not part of the bottleneck?
No, it is part of the bottleneck, like the agricultural loan by federal by former President Muhammad Buhari. The North, we are assessing it. The Southeast, we tried our best. At least I'm the president of Igbo Women Assembly. I know we have a cooperative, we have a farm. We don't assess it. They blocked it off. And again,
did you try to access it?
Of course, of course. You won't get. You will walk and walk. Even in the Southeast, there you will walk and walk and walk. Now, probably maybe this time around they might want to give, but that narrative is there. That experience, no need of going to try, because we've been trying. You know, we are being locked out of this thing. So, what is their sense of disturbing ourselves? Of course, they know that this is the situation with us and Nigeria. We don't need to bother ourselves anymore. Now, federal government, how are they sensitizing other people from the other region? How are they assessing it?
Okay.
Why can't they carry the same sensitization to the Southeast and sensitize these students? They have a committee in schools. I mean, this is a federal government initiative. So why can't they take it to every school in Nigeria and then have a committee that is going to sensitize the student and let them have it? Those that are assessing it from other regions, how do they sensitize them? Does those students just wake up and start getting it? There must be a way. They are carrying out the sensitization. Are they doing the same to the people of the Southeast? How are they exposing the Southeast to these things? So the point is that the Southeast have resigned to fate, just to mind their business, not to bother yourself, because you find out you might even spend some money to buy data and to do all these things that you are not getting. So I don't think Southeast can never not be interested in such a thing, because
sure?
Of course I am sure. Now, if the federal government, when it came to the military, they had to go down to Southeast and make noise, and even go state to state, start having workshops, bringing out the youth. So why can't they do the same with this? Why is it that it's only the military that they had to go to the Southeast to, bring out money, having town hall meetings, going from local government in each state to local government to raise campaign? Why don't they, if the Southeast is not accessible, why not they apply the same method? Why don't they reach out to schools, universities why are your students not accessing this thing? And Southeast are not very noisy. Yes, they are not very noisy in terms of using the press, in terms of using the press to shout, or they are not very good at propaganda. Okay, you said you want to do this. They pick their phone, they try to assess it, they can't log in, they can't do anything, they just throw it away. We are used to it. Let me use that word. They are used to it. And then even if you shout, it's like when we complain about this marginalization, those that are doing this enjoy it. They want you to cry. They want you to show that, we are peppering you. You are in pain. So I don't think. I think the people of the South is. We don't shout. We don't complain. We don't want to give you that satisfaction that whatever you are doing is affecting us. But I can assure you there is a little bit of marginalization there. You try to assess like others are assessing. You don't get it.
Lolo Neka, see, here is the thing. We have senators. We have House of Rep members. They are paid salaries. They give them monies for supposed constituency projects. Did the youth write to this individuals to say, please, we need you to resonate either at the National Assembly or since you're representing us at the federal level? We can't have access to this now fund. We try to have access to it, but they take their time in responding to us. Is this initiative not meant for all Nigerian students who are interested, who are lacking in one way or the other? So why is it that when we try to access it, we're not, given access to? Could it be the name? Could it be the location? What exactly is the problem? So this senators, this House of Rep members, that's their job. to represent us.
How is it their job? Excuse me, the net fund.
All right.
Other regions that are assessing it, are they assessing it through their senators, through their representatives? Does our senators have the rights over this net fund? I think there is a committee that is in charge. Other regions that are getting it, did they write to their senators to complain? How are they getting it easily? So you see, there's this disconnection. There's no point. It's deliberate. They know it is deliberate. Even the senators themselves, we've had our senators sponsor bills at the floor of National Assembly. They are being rubbished. They are being ridiculed. For instance, when Enyinna Abaribe talk about immortalizing Humphrey Nwosu, the real hero of the June 12th, because if he had not announced that election, or if he had rigged it, Abiola wouldn't have been. The man was sidelined. Nobody mentioned him. And now, when he died, somebody on the floor of the National Assembly raised that issue. One man, I think a Yoruba senator, the way he attacked him, he even said he did not announce the results.
No, it was, what's his name?
Yes.
Former Edo State governor.
He was so...
first of all, spoke against
No, I think it's Bamidele. I think the name...
what's his name? Former Edo State Governor Adams Oshiomhole, first of all, shut it down before others now
join. Now, this kind of... It's not even only the citizens or the populace of the Southeast. Even those you think are in the National Assembly are being caged. It's like there's a gang up. How can somebody I think somebody rise to say it was so ridiculous. The things we hear in Nigeria, the way they express themselves about the Southeast. Somebody said Humphrey Nwosu did not announce the result. Now, if Humphrey Nwosu did not announce result, how did Abiola win? Who announced the result that that made us know that Abiola actually win? So even those in the National Assembly, and I've also seen them sponsor bills, say things ordinarily Nigeria should look into. If Southeast is truly part of Nigeria, they are being shut down. Now, if at that level they are being treated that way, what do you think those that are using their phone just to log in will do? So somebody will leave what he's doing to go and be chasing who? Who will listen to you?
Okay, Lolo, there was a time one of the Southeasterners actually talked about real access and even having a dam or something. I remember he complained that if we look at the monies allocated to certain regions for certain projects, that there is no representation in the Southeast. He actually got up to talk about it. I think a couple of other senators said the same thing, that why did you do this? I've written a petition a long time ago, nothing has followed through. I presented on the floor of the House, nothing has followed through. But that could be like one or two people amongst the lots of them. So a couple of them, according to you, feel that they're caged, they can't talk. But you're there for a reason, to represent the interests of your people. Does it stop you from keep resonating and keep talking? Everything done in the National Assembly is televised. So if every day you're moving your motion, everybody will hear you know that you'll be moving this motion for a long time. So a couple of Southeasterners feel that over time they've not really had proper leadership representation at the federal level. Some of the leaders are always all about themselves. Some of them who get there forget that there was a reason why they got there, and they only focus on themselves. And then they also go in the background, enjoy whatever it is they're enjoying at the background, without having to resonate the needs and the wants of the people from the region.
Okay. Now, Esther, do you know that in this country, I mean, we're all human beings.
Okay.
We have feelings. You need the support of the others. You stand every day to present things about your tribe and you are being shut down. You're a human being. Tomorrow you won't have that courage to, to continue to present. Yes, of course. Of course. That's what I'm saying. If like Enyinna Abaribe has been very vocal.
That's one.
Now, exactly when others saw how he is being treated, they become afraid. You believe that there's no point in pushing. I mean, to what end? And again, let me tell you, in this country, I've been an activist. Okay. All right? Once the rest of Nigerians, especially our brothers from the southwest and the north, once they see you carry Igbo interest for head, honestly, they'll target you both the media. I know I've witnessed serious media attacks over something I innocently released on. It's as if you Igbos don't have the right to talk. Sometimes you will say a Yoruba person release something, say something freely. Let an Igbo man say the same thing. They will swarm on you like bees. Sometimes there was a time I said we're going to challenge that the Lagos state government said no other native language should be taught in school. And we said that's not right. Are they trying to colonize our children? They should also know that Nigeria is a secular country. So I don't think they need to do that. We're going to write the State House of Assembly. If they are not doing anything about it, we might go to court. Some of them went to my DM to bring out my picture. Some say my nose is like that of a there is nothing they did not. In fact, it became a war with my Yoruba brothers. They just picked me and started attacking. So what are they doing? They try to intimidate us. So now few people.
Is it compulsory to study Yoruba language or Hausa language? I mean, in the Southeast schools, do you have a situation where it's only Igbo language that has been taught and any other language?
When I was in secondary school.
At that time, I'm talking about now. You know that
right now, that question, I don't know why they will change it. I don't know why that system should be changed. Before in Nigeria, everybody, in fact, an Igbo person have a right to study Yoruba.
Yes,
if they can force us, if they can introduce French.
I went to a unity
in school and then say you can choose any of the language. So leave it open. Let them choose. There are Igbos that choose to take Yoruba lessons. Okay. When I was in school, one Yoruba girl, her father was a mobile policeman, so they live in my area. Only her studies Yoruba. She has a Yoruba teacher. In my school, girls' secondary school, in my school, all right? So I don't know why. Do you know that the worst punishment you will give to anybody is to deny the person his identity? Because your language is your identity.
Well, they say, for example, that this place is part of the Southwest. It's not bad if they make laws that they want all in their indigenous language and no other language taught.
In fact,
like if you go to the north,
in fact, I want to write the National Assembly to define Nigeria. It's only in Nigeria. A fellow countryman, a fellow Nigerian will tell you are a stranger in Southwest. Why did they go to war? Awolowo played a very important role in that war to keep us one. Are they speaking from both sides of their mouths? One Nigeria, another Yoruba. How is that possible?
Don't you think
you can't tell a fellow country, this is Nigeria. Once anybody abides by the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you have the right to live anywhere and have equal rights. Yes, there are indigenous rights. We understand. An Igbo man cannot come and say you want to be an Oba. These are indigenous rights. Okay. Or a Bale. These are indigenous rights. You can't just come and just jump on any land. Because by right, Yoruba owns the land. Yes. By inheritance. But the moment you sell it, even in the Bible, the moment you sell your land, you lose the right over that land. You've sold it
for a period of time.
Now, if you sell your land in the Bible, Abraham bought a land from one king.
Let's focus on the laws.
Yes, now, the law of Nigeria says, as a Nigerian, you can live anywhere. That is why we are one country. I have never. Yorubas live in America. Igbos live in America. Once you are even a citizen, it's not even whether you are an indigenous. Once you are a citizen, even from another country, you have equal rights to live, to exercise your rights, and do whatever you like. It's only in Nigeria, and more especially our brothers from the Southwest, that will always tell you, no, this is Lagos. Lagos. And then I ask, do you know that this Lagos was not built with your money? It was collectively built. I remember Third Mainland Bridge was built from oil from Gulf War. Babangida, Gulf War, during Gulf War. The oil, the proceeds from the oil was used. So how can you take all the wealth from the Southeast? When I mean Southeast, I mean Southeast. Forget the Southeast.
When
I mean Southeast, no, when did they have this oil? When I mean Southeast, how can you take my resources from my backyard to develop all over Nigeria. And then I come for us to all join and enjoy what we own together. You are now telling me, no. You are now discriminating. No, let them come out plainly and say divide Nigeria. Okay. Simple. Igbos are not even too keen. Did you know the most annoying part of it? Igbos are not even too interested in living in this, your so-called Nigeria. Therefore, they saw this. They saw that we are not one.
No, wait. Let's again. There's a reason why I brought up this conversation, and one of the reasons why this conversation was brought up is we are one Nigeria.
Exactly.
Whether we like it or not, regardless of the past that has occurred.
Okay.
The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, brought out this initiative, the Renewed Hope Initiative. And one of the Renewed Hope Initiative is the Now Fund. And it's a very good initiative. Regardless of how it's being done, maybe some persons complain it's slow, but students are benefiting from this. That's my question. Wait, I'm heading somewhere. Now, if, for example, other regions are giving testimonies of how they benefited from it, what is going on from that region? Because I ask this is the fact that over time, not just with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, even in previous administration, you will notice that even when it comes to voting, sometimes the apathy is there. It's almost like, we know they're part of this, they made them do what they want to do. Let's just do our business and survive. When it comes to some things that has to do with the government and collective, everyone enjoying or being part of it, that apathy is also there. It has transcended to every other thing. But this Now Fund is a very good thing, because right now, to be honest with you, education is expensive. Very expensive.
Esther, you don't seem to understand.
I understand. What I'm saying is,
it is even worse in this administration. If you look at our president, his own, others will kind of play politics with it. He shows it to the Igbos. His appointments and whatever he does. All right? Now, if they are serious about this fund, the way they were marketing the military for able to join in the military, let them go and market like that and see if that fund will not finish overnight.
What about some influencers, some persons who are educated, who understand how this thing goes? I'm talking about collective civic responsibility of educating others who may not know, and that could come from the state governors. Again, if you have observed, you can't tell me that the state governors have not observed this apathy. So let's not even look at the fact that from the federal, because everything cannot be on the federal. The
state governors, the state governors are not even left out of this. Most of the governors in the Southeast are so afraid.
Afraid of what?
If you, for instance, rigging their job, you know that in Imo State, for instance,
okay,
APC, Igbos will show if they don't want you, they don't want you.
Mm-hmm.
If they try to do election, when election is election,
mm-hmm,
if Southeast wants to vote APC,
mm-hmm,
they'll vote APC 99%. That's their trend. Hope Uzodinma did not even get any votes. He came fourth. He went to the court, and they gave him that governor. Since then, we've not had peace in the Southeast. What did he pledge? So it's as if they will give you these positions and cage you and tell you what to do.
So you think he doesn't have a mind of his own to protect this?
No, he has.
No, hold on. But like I said, every governor of the state, you have eventually gotten to be the governor of the state, regardless of how you got there. Agreed, who pays the piper dictates the tune. But I don't think it shuts down your sense of empathy and morality to do right by your people as governor of the state. You cannot say you are caged when it comes to security. You spoke. You can see how deserted the Southeast is. You can see the fact that even the governor of the state doesn't even stay in the states. He's controlling and administering from the FCT.
Okay, so let me educate you.
Okay, fine.
Let me educate you. IPOP rise. We had OPC in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
In 1993, we know what OPC did. What we call Abiola resource Abiola. OPC were burning down police stations, chaos everywhere. They never say shoot at sight. They never climbed down on them the way they did. IPOP came out and they said, I mean, we want to get this in peace. And what was the argument? The same thing both of us were talking about. Marginalization. Treat us the way you treat the rest of Nigeria. That's all. They never get any of them with gun or whatever. In fact, there was a time, there was an interview Buhari granted in, I don't know, it's CNN or Edges, where they were asking him, why were you shooting on innocent protesters? What did he say? They will open fire and nothing will happen. Nobody will talk. Even if you talk, you are being ignored. That's one. Secondly, when Nnamdi Kanu was incarcerated, they wanted to protest. They now said, if we protest on the streets, we'll be shot. So let's sit at home and protest. That also became a crime. The media were not even merciful.
It became a crime by who?
I mean, even the way the media were giving the narrative. Now, see what happened.
Okay.
The federal government, in their wisdom, with the state governors, okay, this Nnamdi Kanu is too popular. We need to, bring him down. Bring the military to relax the sit-at-home. There was nothing like crime.
Are you sure?
There was.
We saw videos of persons who came out to go to the market on such a day.
Now I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. No. It was until the military came in. During sit-at-home, go and check. All these TV stations were covering it, and we're on ground. Before the military moved in, we started seeing cane and shooting the moment the military moved in. Before, you see total shutdown. Nobody moves. I went home to cover it. To drive through the whole Southeast, you will see young men playing footballs and elderly people sitting outside to gist. Now, in their wisdom, they said, okay, people are afraid. The media, people are afraid. That's why if they come out, hype up, they will intimidate them. Okay, bring military so that if people start coming out, nobody will attack them. That was the reason why military was moved in. The moment military moving, the next thing we heard is, then people started, then military came with intimidations, harassing people, roadblock. If you come, you have to hands off and all that. IPOP now said, no more sit at home. They are trying to hijack it. Now, when IPOP said no more sit at home, when people started coming out, that was when the shooting started. Burials everywhere. And we went back home to say, what is going on? Until somebody came out to say I was Atiku, he was contracted. Yeah. Now, Esther, what kind of security do you think Atiku will, provide to Southeast? Now, the federal government moved in military in a peaceful area. You say you want to relax, sit at home. Then from behind, you contracted a militant without even letting the people of the Southeast know. Pour them inside Southeast. To do what?
So are you saying the killings ongoing now are not the killings being done by persons who just basically whatever breakdown of law and order, the continued brigandage is not from individuals within the state?
When the governors and the federal government did this, they set that Ebobago was actually handed over to Atiku. So most of the security he provided were given the Ebobago platform. Now, unknown to the governors, the federal government of General Muhammad Buhari have an ulterior motive. Best known to him, I'll tell you. At Ekotut, a very popular market, people came to the market and saw two beheaded heads in the market. What did the military do? It's on record. Let them come and debunk it. They moved in with the armored tanks, started shooting people in the market, started burning down the market. Military actually burnt down Ekotut. If you go to Osui Hitokwa today, you won't even see any human being living there. They are after burning Ekotut. They moved their armor to the village and the whole village has left. It was not IPOP.
All right, Lolo, let's go on to what Chukuma...
So what I'm trying to tell you is that you are trying to say Southeast are not assessing. And I'm telling you that it's like there's a plot. The war have not ended, Esther. Take it or you leave it.
Okay, but Lolo, Chukwuma Soludo made a statement recently. Despite other protests we've seen in Ehamufu, we've seen in Ebonyi states, we've seen these individuals actually come out to call out and say it is the Fulani herdsmen that are terrorizing us, they are taking over our farms. The women complain that there are no men anymore in the villages. Most of the men have either were killed or some ran away because of what was going on. And the women had to come out to protest. The governor, I remember Enugu State Governor Peter Mba stopped the women from protesting. He sent the police and NSCDC to stop them from protesting. There are also reports that even in some instances, when these complaints come up, they cover it up, they debunk it, they don't want it to be known. Okay? Now, Chukwuma Soludo now said himself that almost 99.9% of the atrocities and crime, kidnapping, are being done by the indigenes of the... So, obviously exonerating those who have been, or will I say, making it seem as if those who have been complaining that Fulani terrorists are terrorizing them, possibly they are lying, because that is the prism the criticism is coming from. That the crime and criminality being, going on in that region is being done by the indigenes of the state, with that statement made by Chukwuma Soludo.
Now, Chukwuma Soludo raised Agune Chamber, which they're doing a wonderful job, though they have lapses here and there. If they catch most of the kidnappings, and they are catching a Fulani herdsmen.
But why did he say
Chamber? I saw some of them. I'm going to do a video to that effect, and then I'm going to bring out those Fulani they caught. Soludo, there will be an election by November, right?
Yeah.
Good. Soludo has to please the federal government to keep his job. Remember, when they did what they did in Imo State, all the governors of the Southeast became afraid. You don't mess up. If you mess up, rigging an election in Nigeria is done in broad daylight, and you will do nothing. Court will do nothing. Nigeria is like a jungle. So survival of the fittest and the elimination of the unfit.
To the detriment of his people, he came out to say that it is his people that are doing the killings and the kidnapping or the insecurity just because he wants to be re-elected.
Yes, he is fighting the crime underneath.
Okay.
But he has to say something.
You don't say that. That's not the truth.
I mean, politicians can go to any length.
Throw your people under the bus.
Now, if Soludo say he was kidnapped, now, this stereotyping is what I don't like. In the Southwest, we have court fights here and there.
Yes.
The governor of South will not come and say it's Yorubas, even though 90% of them might be Yorubas that are in that court. They are criminals. All right? You see, you have criminal elements everywhere. It's not peculiar to Southeast. But for him to now claim they are indigenous. Now, did Soludo ever think about what it will do to even the good citizens? Now, criminal elements in the Southeast might constitute about 10% of our population. So the 10% now will overshadow the 90% of responsible people. Now, what it will do is even his son that is in America, that is abroad, if there is a kidnapping around him, they will say, he's an Igbo boy, and they're used to kidnapping. They didn't even think in that direction. When you catch a criminal, for me, I don't even like this stereotyping. It's an excuse and failure of the security agents. Even if you catch a Fulani headsman, he's a criminal. Try him. Call him a criminal. That is who he is. If you catch a kidnapper in the Southeast, whether Hausa, Yoruba, or Igbo, try him. And let me tell you, do you know that most of the Hausas that were born in the Southeast speak Igbo?
Okay. All right.
Most of Yoruba, it's like in Lagos. It will be very bad for you to catch somebody and you say it's Yoruba. Some Igbos speak Yoruba more than they speak Igbo. So what if you meet somebody and interview him in Yoruba and he's speaking Yoruba and you ask him his name, he will tell you Shegun. He doesn't want you to know his identity.
Crime can be committed by anybody.
Exactly.
Regardless of their tribe or religion.
Exactly.
The thing is, we should call out crime.
Crime.
We shouldn't protect it just because this person is my person or not.
Exactly.
That is what a society that has morals does. Everyone commits crime. From the north, the east, the south, whatever, they all commit crime.
Yes.
But what happens is, call out the crime. don't try to attribute it to an entire region that, oh, this is basically what
exactly.
you do.
Why would he do that? The question is now, the question, Esther, why would he do that?
My issue is this. Why? Because right now you're saying what you're saying, but you're not the chief security officer of Anambra State. You are not the governor of Imo State. If the governor of a state comes out to make that statement with what you are saying and with what he said, which official report do you think anybody, whether the international community, you and I, would believe? Wouldn't they take what he said over what you're saying?
Of course they would take. Of course, naturally they would take. That's what I'm telling you.
So that's why I'm bringing the question to you, that what the issue here, again, I'm talking about representation. The governors, the House of Rep members, the ministers, these are individuals are meant to represent the interests. I see how other regions come headlong. Ali Ndumi, I think before this recent appointment that was done by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, called the president out. He came on the national television, regardless of the fact that he's an APC member. He said, I am not happy with what you are doing. You're not representing federal character.
Exactly.
He said the northeast or wherever he comes from was not being properly represented. The president did an appointment. They were represented, I think, twice after that. And Ali Ndume was happy. So recently, with the recent appointment that was made, Ali Ndume himself was one that's, okay, Mr. President, I see you're doing okay, you're doing fine. But please, the last appointment you did, no Southeast person was part of it. You need to represent federal character. This is somebody from the North. Regardless of the fact that he is not the president, he is in the APC. He could be targeted. Anything could have happened. But he didn't care. He called out the president. Why are we not having such daring persons in the Southeast? Such
Who
daring
told you
senators?
we don't have?
Okay.
Esther, do you know that I have said something? I went to the press and I said, Southeasterners, please stop complaining about President Tinubu's appointments. Ignore him. Let him finish. Now, because we cry, we shout, they talk, everybody talk, is as if you are making noise. The Yorubas and the Hausas owns Nigeria.
You can't say
now.
that.
Let me tell you, because we will
not continue. No, you cannot continue to spread that.
What can you do?
Every Nigerian.
What
owns
can you
Nigeria.
do? But now,
you cannot spread that
Esther,
information.
but that is the fact.
That is not a fact.
That is why I said we call ourselves Nigerians. Ali Ndume complained, and the president adjusted. From the day he took over government, we've been shouting. He rubs it in our face and tell us you can't do nothing. I felt it so much that you will see they will just write it out. You know the way Igbos are. They will go as far as writing it out, mentioning it. Like 1 year into his government, I felt so ashamed of the shame. I went to the press and I said, please, Igbos, let us endure Tinubu the way we endured Buhari. It's just another 8 years. So it's like our cries means nothing. And we are showing them that we can deal with it. That's why we're no longer talking. They have shouted at the National Assembly. Their fellow senators shouted them down. Well, right, the moment any senator any senator from the Southeast will rise. Somebody will rise and say something that will ask you, is this a country? We can no longer continue to cry. Let them do whatever they want to do. We will survive. We'll pull through.
All right. Mr. Lawal Kundari, please come closer to the microphone. Thank you for your patience. You know you're always with me here, so that's why I give her time to talk. You've heard the general purview of the conversation, and Lolo is giving her perspective. I need you to give us your perspective. Number one, you're a Southwesterner. Number two, you're a teacher. So obviously you know how the processing, specifically for Nel Fund, handling security, federal character representation and all that. Please give me your own purview based on what you have experienced on the field.
Thank you very much.
You're
you see,
welcome.
When I hear conversations like this, it pained me.
Okay.
You know why?
Why? You can raise the mic up because I know you're tall.
Okay. Now, it pained me. You know why? Because you only claim that you are from one ethnic group or another because somebody told you are from that ethnic group.
Okay.
Where you were born, you don't know where you came from. You don't know where you were born or somebody took you out. It's just what they told you that you believe. That somebody naming you. And when you grew up, you came to understand that name. You don't even know whether it was true. That person was a wicked or that was, because that is what you were told. Now, you see, humans are one.
Okay.
There's no difference. We are just the one differentiating all these things based on our, sentiment and perspective. That's why we call it personality. I was in a school, one public school, and I went to assist them because they didn't have teacher in civic education.
In Lagos or another?
Yes, in Lagos State.
Okay.
So I went there that I want to assist this school. I don't want to be paid. I just want to assist. So I taught 2 subjects.
Okay.
Now, I was teaching that civic education, that's SS1. So we came to topic that relate to something like this.
Okay.
And I allowed the students to express themselves. And I was surprised what they were saying. Children of 14, 13 years. All these children were complaining about the other ethnic group. Yoruba children complain about the Igbo and Hausa. They also complain about that's the children. I'm not talking about the adults. That's the children in SS1. The children from the east complain about the Yorubas and the Hausas.
That's a stereotypical.
Yes, that is the north. The same thing. Children from the north were complaining about the two. I was flabbergasted.
So you're saying this division is coming from the home?
Yes, exactly. You take it down to these children and you build it into them. They live together. They are schooling together, and yet they are not together. Okay. When it comes to some points, you see that they begin to do. You see the way they act openly, that they believe that the other person is not their friend, is an enemy, and yet they do things together. Now, that is what has divided this country since we got independence. That's why some people wondered whether the people who actually fought for that independence fought it for Nigerians or did it selfishly. Because since then, we don't see any reason for the independence. It did not bring us any peace.
Do you think the politicians are the ones responsible for
this?
Because if you look at now...
I'm coming. No, don't talk about the politicians now.
Okay.
We always miss this thing.
Okay.
You see, politicians is just a certain number of people from the larger tribes. Okay. That's the politics. What about the larger tribes? The culture? The elders? What did they pass that the politicians are making use of? You don't know this. Because a child, look at these children I'm talking about, SS1. Now, some of them will become politicians, some of them will become office holders, some of them, now, they already know that they have already been built at home, that the other tribe is not your friend. Okay. And that is what we've been bringing up and up. So these children, when they get to post, that is the way they react. It's just some of them that get enlightened, get educated, see it differently. And many of them have a lot of backlash from their homes. That you don't support your brother. You are supporting another brother. You are supporting like so me. I have a lot of backlash from from your ethnic extraction. You're expected to keep quiet because, cover it up because it's your person. Yes, and you don't need to attack your brother. That is the moment you are speaking that truth, that truth is against or is unpleasant to someone that is from the area. They now turn it into tribalism. I begin to attack you as a person, as a bastard. That you are a bastard. How can you be talking about somebody who come from but they don't look at the truth. That is the way we have found ourselves. It's beyond politics. It goes back into the culture, into the homes. So this thing is so ingrained that even if the politicians want to do anything about it, it may not be possible. Because the problem is rooted in the home, in the culture. You get it, it's rooted. Why would Nigerians leave Nigeria, go to outside Nigeria and become one? When they get outside Nigeria, they become one. When they are in Nigeria, they are divided. Yeah, it's true. I heard that those who go to the UK, if you want to go to the UK, even the US, they have a community. In that community, regardless of where you come from, we're all Nigerians, and they look after it. Even sometimes they will even call themselves black. They say somebody from Ghana, someone from Ivory Coast, all of them will come together and call themselves black community. They'll say Black Lives Matters. Why didn't they say about something like Igbo Life Matters or Yoruba Life Matters? They say Black Life Matters. So, Mr. Lawal Kondayo, you had Madam Pinto, because there was a reason why I brought up this.
Any initiative that comes from the federal government is for everybody. It doesn't sideline anybody. So I asked because the Southeast complains of underrepresentation, marginalization, a lot of terrible things happening to them, gotten worse because one of their person campaigned in 2023. So the hatred has become worse. The tension is really rife. And literally, a couple of them are just minding their business, trying to survive, trying to stay afloat. But it's like every day there's one issue or the other. So certain persons who are meant to curb this are not curbing it. You have a Bayo Nanaga. He has not repented. He has made statements, continues to make statements.
Sorry.
No, I'm coming. These are persons working for the government. These are persons working for the government. Now, you even have state governors' aides. Especially, I know of 2 or 3 of them, Lagos State, that work for Lagos State Governor. They are also part of this. And it's disheartening because these are persons that are meant to reflect the project of the state governor. Your job is to say, this is what we have done, this is what the state governor is doing. Always bring receipts of all the projects, developmental projects, dividends of democracy being implemented by your principal, by your boss. You need to see the streets condescending, thuggish language being used by these individuals. So it now makes everyone come from the prism of this whole thing is sponsored from the FG. Because nobody has come out to caution anybody. Not one bit. Nobody has cautioned. Nobody has said anything against it. Even the president himself has not said, oh, Bayo Nanaga, you need to stop this. This is wrong. Or you're going to be suspended or sanctioned. Nothing. So when that impunity continues, every other person can do that. So the big question is, what do we do? How do we create awareness? How do we orientate ourselves? Because a lot of these initiatives, it's not for a few people, for some certain persons. It's for everyone, regardless. So long as you're the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, you're the president of everybody.
Esther, you should ask yourself, or maybe you should ask Nigerians. I think we have orientation ministry.
National Orientation Agency.
Is it not the one that's supposed to be coming out to speak against things like this? That is it, within the government. That's the government itself. You know, having an agency that's supposed to speak against things like people like when people like Bayo Onanuga speak things like this, it's supposed to come out in the government and speak against that. No, this is not right. Are you with me? And yet they are quiet. Now let me ask you a question. No, don't bother, because you are the president, you are the host. I can't ask you a question. Now, you just read out what Atiku said about Okpebolo.
Yeah.
That governor. Let me use the word that governor. Said about Okpebolo. You see, he came out and spoke against him. But it's not from anywhere now. It's from the north. And yet he's speaking on behalf of somebody from the east. Openly.
Yes.
He wasn't the only person. So many others. Yeah. You remember this lawyer that was arrested, that wrote a book, I've forgotten his name.
Farotimi.
You see that he spoke openly that he supported Obi unless he sees somebody else that is better than him. That is a Yoruba man. So many others will come out openly and say, yes, I support this man. Even you must have heard on calls in which Northerners call from the north and say, no, this is the man we want. That is the way I want the Igbos to think.
Okay.
I don't want you to think, because the moment you begin to think yourself as inferior, that is the way you'll be presented. That is the way you will be colored.
You think the Southeasterners present?
Don't use that word.
Yes,
that we are being victimized. That's the way they use that, because they use that word marginalization like it's their birthday. So I don't. When anytime they say that, I come out and say I am a Yoruba man.
Okay.
And most of the people around that, even my friends, are even not Yoruba.
Well, these tensions became rife after the 2023 elections.
We know, but we don't need to aggravate it. We understand that the politicians who had some little extraction of the population, some of them are using this thing because they have seen it in us. Like they said, devil finds work for an idle hand. They have seen what you present and they make use of it. That's why up there they don't fight. They cross carpeted like is they are they do that like you are changing naira and like denominations. You know, where is it 200 denomination 100? Who fight against denominations? They cross carpeted up there all over the way they want. But down here we are busy at fighting ourselves. We should look beyond that.
All right.
Now, let me come in. What I want is this. That black, apart from the fact that we humans are one, we the Africans are one, we blacks are one. Nigeria, even if
supposed to be.
Yes.
Because there's serious xenophobia.
If anybody says this, we should know this is wrong. We should come out and say it openly. This is wrong. If one person is doing it, don't make it a tribal thing.
Okay.
Come it out and say this is wrong. But many people don't know. That's why you see many times I will talk about Natasha. I praise Natasha a lot and every now and then. That woman, for the first time in the Senate, she has not even spent the first term. Look at the way she's shaking the whole Senate. Even the federal government is involved to attack her, to do everything. She never talk about marginalization. She talk about it as a holistic thing. You get? She keep fighting. What about those who represent the East in that? Let them shut you down. Let them suspend you. You understand? You have 5 states from the East. You have 3 senators representing each one, making how many? Let me say 5 times 3, 15. You have 6 reps from each state. If you had all of them, let all of them be suspended. Let's see. Are you getting what I'm saying? Speak out. Let them suspend you. Let's see. Will they be able to? By that time, what you are saying will be realistic. Now we are talking about this NER fund that is not trickling down to some certain area. How many of those who represent these states are fighting it up there? That my people said this. That I wish to see the record. Let me see the record, and then you call out the person in charge. And then you stand up in the house.
Okay.
Let them suspend everybody. Let's see. That nobody is serious. And let me see how they will pass bill. Because you know, if you want to pass bills, there must be 2/3.
Yes.
Let them suspend the vote and see how they will pass bill in the house. If all of you walk out and then you boycott the assembly. You boycott it because you are fighting that injustice.
Injustice. Lolo, again. You can hear what Mr. Lawaya Kundayo said. That's why I asked you the question. I asked you a question. I said, why is that consistent representation not there? If you have noticed that this is how you are underrepresented, your voices are not being represented there, and you have representatives, why are they not talking? Maybe 1 or 2 of them, which would not carry weight if a collective are not talking. And you said something that they are caged, and you made reference to the Imo State, Hopus or Dima, how it happened, and that's why a lot of them are afraid. Afraid of what?
Okay. Now, it's easier said than done.
Okay.
Look at what happened in River State. Who is talking? Shebi, this man fought now. What's his name? Fubara fought. To what end? What happened? Today is out. So it's easier said than done. Some now will be telling Fubara, stupid man, why did you even fight? Why not obey weak? Why not be loyal? And not everybody that have strength to fight. That's number one. Then another thing I want to bring to Mr. Kunde, it's easy to blame Southeast to say stop crying. We've stopped crying. People are still calling us out. Like people complain, why? It is this why that is making us respond. We are not crying. But when you bring out these things, you want to make us feel guilty. We'll tell you no, we are not. This is deliberate and we can't do anything about it. All right? Okay. And then if you say, let them stop saying marginalization, let them stop complaining. This is like beating a child. Okay. And you tell the child, don't cry. No. Nigerian has beaten the Igbos. They must cry. Allow them to cry. For instance, there was a coup in this country. This coup was organized by the whole Nigeria. Yorubas, about 4. Hausas were there. Igbos were there. How did it become Igbo coup? More than 30,000 people were slaughtered in this country. It's as if nothing happened. And then when we complain, they say, stop complaining, it's your fault. Why did your brother initiate it? So the point is that the way we are being blamed, they will kill us. They will blame us for killing us. Okay, you said we don't want to access your fund. We don't want to get ourselves angry. You also blame us for not accessing something you will not give us. So my brother, if the situation Igbos has been in this country, if Yorubas experience this 1 year, they won't survive. It's easy to tell Igbos don't complain. For instance, during the last election in 2023, simply because an Igbo man contested, I covered what happened to the Igbos after 2023 election. At Abulado, about 7 boys were shot. They were admitted at a military hospital. We went there. That was where my first speech went viral. When I organized them and told them, stop crying. Let us find. Yes.
For what?
They were after that Saturday election. On Sunday, they were coming to church. They opened fire on them. Agboro. Now, I have that video, Esther, today. Somebody was standing on a 3-story building to video. Police were following those boys from behind. I have that video. We shouted. We talked. Who listened to us? A man was murdered at Ilupeju in his house for participating fully. Oluomo came out to threaten the whole of Igbos openly. What did Yoruba said? So, when you blame us and say, I don't even know what they want us to do. You complain. They say you complain too much. We keep quiet. They say, why did you keep quiet? Why not talk? What do they want us to do? Youths went and committed a coup. You went and killed them. They went and said, okay, you know what? The system of this country cannot work. Let us do regional government. They went to Aburu. Awolowo followed them. Came back, betrayed, and went to war. The same regional government that is what the West is clamoring for. What the whole Nigeria is clamoring for. But they still blamed us for the war. For defending ourselves. Today, after that coup, we've had series of coups. The 1975 coup was from a middle belt and man. Nobody termed it middle belt. It was Dimka coup. Nobody singled the tribe. Okay? After that coup, we have the Oka coup. Nobody singled that tribe. Why was that very one termed Igbo coup? Who termed it Igbo coup? And if we rise and try to defend ourselves, so the same way, our brothers at the National Assembly, what do you want them to do? You talk the rubbish you today. Tomorrow you say keep talking. Who will listen to you? Our youths rise to protest like the rest of them. The West have been protesting until they gave them presidency in 1999. They never rested from 1993 till 1999. You wake up one day and see one police station burned down. We never had peace in this Lagos. Nobody condemned them. But the moment our youth rise, it was from Southwest. Go to social media. They were analyzing. And when they analyze, they gave it a wrong notion. Igbos are not very good at propaganda. They are very good at propaganda. When they were doing their own, we sympathized with them. We supported them. In fact, Kwame was supposed to be the president in 1990. I'm coming, Esther, please. The whole Igbo, Ojo Zokalo, Jim Nwobodo, they all rise and say, let's give it to the Southwest. But I must give it to them. In 2023, they all rise to say, please, we cannot generalize. All right? There were some good Yoruba men that are statesmen.
Yes.
Talk about Obasanjo, Babaya, Debanjo. A lot of them, it's just very few of them that has this tribalistic tendency just against the Igbos. So, my brother, it is easier said than done. You said, there's something my people say. Onyo me amarana. Na person way they do. No as a parent for body. It's easy for you to stay from far. Give your judgment. But some people have been taking that hit. That after election, their properties attacks on them here and there. Now, government officials will come out and threaten a whole tribe.
Okay, so what do we do now? When we make such complaints, where lamentations are made by citizens, what do we do? Please,
wait.
go on.
Do you know that Are you aware that some Igbos actually won election in Lagos State? Are you aware that some Igbos are actually in the House of Assembly, or even I think one of them was even represented as a commissioner? Yes.
Now?
Yes.
Okay.
Since now, it's not even now. Same. Now, if you look at Future Williams, he was killed. You get? Now, you look at I wanted to say something. So many like that who have been involved in politics. You hear about during the time of what's his man? MK Abiola, when the election was annulled, you see that most of the people that actually stood out were mostly the Westerners. Now, even some Northerners who became leaders in the democracy did not even support democracy. So, but there's something I want you to understand. Governance is about representation. Whether you are a governor, whether you are a rep. People think that it's only the reps that are representatives. No, the governors that are representatives. So the president is a representative because he's representing some people in Africa. They will say Nigeria. Anywhere you go, it's our representative. Is that not it? So the governors are representing the state. Now, the governors collect money. They have money. They make it. They make money here and there. How many times have the people in that state call out the governors? How many times have we called out this governor? Because I'm telling you something, Esther. I have analyzed this thing. I have sat down and I calculated. When I calculate this thing for somebody, they began to change. Their mind, change. I told them what a local government is making. That what a local government is making is enough to develop that state that local government holistically. What a local government chairman is making, apart from what is collecting from, it generates inside too. What is making is enough to develop that local government without the state or federal government, without anybody coming in. But do we call them out? We don't. The governor has enough money, even internal generated, to take care of that whole state. The money is making is enough. Do we call them out? Now, the reps who represent the people, you are telling me that a rep is marginalized. Then why is he collecting salary? Are you not collecting salary to fight for the people who are marginalized? Are you not collecting salary to fight for the people who are oppressed? And you go there, you are telling me that you are afraid to speak. Then what is the justification of the money you are collecting? What's the justification of the salary you are collecting? You are collecting allocation to develop your area every 4 months that runs to so much amount that is even greater than what the local government is making. One person is making it. Minus the local government, the rep in the federal, they are collecting development, the money allocation, constituency allocation. The senator is collecting constituency allocation. If you combine their allocation, you don't even need the governor to spend 1 kobo. They don't need the local government chairman to spend the money he's making. The money they collect is enough to develop that area. You are telling me about NEL fund. I've always been against this NEL fund. And I say it openly. That NEL fund is wrong. How can you put Nigerians, youth, into debt? They are finishing NYC, they are already in debt. What about if they have the opportunity to travel out of this country? What is NEL fund? Will it allow them to travel? Let me say you finish NYC now.
We have issues with the initiative.
I have issues. I don't like it. Because those who brought the initiative, they should tell us whether they collect loan to school in Nigeria here.
When they were going to school.
Yes.
So
they got their own free. Somebody said the population has increased. Has the allocation not increased? During the time of Babangida, how much is a dollar? I mean, how much is a dollar to a naira? Apart from, I'm talking about the oil. It was around $2 then. It was said that before the oil, the Gulf War, it was I think $2 or less than $10. Now, Esther, how much is it? At a point, it entered $120 to a barrel compared to $2. $2. You are telling me population has increased. Even the money we are making has increased far beyond the population of Nigeria. Why are the Senate and the rest? Why are the rest not telling us what they are making?
This complaint, this issue of marginalization, isolation.
It's a distraction. It's a political distraction.
If you say it's a political distraction, and the people who are feeling this, bearing the brunt of this, a couple of them and their businesses, in most instances, because of this isolation, they can't even register their businesses with their names. Just because to prevent any hash whatever from the government, you can't say
I don't agree with that because NCC,
you can't say, I'm just saying you can't
CSC,
you can't say it's a distraction when certain persons are feeling the consequences and the brunt of this. Okay, look,
let me comment.
Need to take calls. Go.
Let me comment.
Just a minute.
Now, this representation is quite different from the treatment you are giving to people.
Okay.
What has representation got to do with people after casting their vote on Saturday, on Sunday, they were attacked and shot? What has it got to do? What has representation got to do that after election you went in and put your bulldozer on people's businesses and pulled it down? What has it got to do? It has nothing to do. What has it got to do that an Igbo man representation, if you go to America, a Yoruba person is in the Senate.
Yes.
They can also contest.
Even in UK.
Now, election is all about representation. Now, in an area where it's densely populated by the Igbos, occupied by the Igbos, naturally, if an Igbo, they would like their own person to represent them. And then when they cast the election, you start fighting that it is your father's land, our own country. This is not a stranger. A Yoruba man that is a stranger in America was able to give him the right of representation. Yes. If the people in your area feel you should, you should represent them. You represent them. Now, he's a stranger. Now, this is our country. A country we fought and wasted blood. Then a Yoruba person is telling you cannot come to our land. Who told you it's your land? This is Nigeria. It is our land. If you don't like it, you speak out. We split. We are ready to go. But you can't deceive me. Be taking my natural resources to be enriching yourself, and also then the dividend of whatever you use my money to develop, I cannot enjoy it with you. That's what it is. Okay? Now, in our go, so many places where Igbos contest and win, they are rigged out. They fight. They destroy their properties. They make you not to come out and cast vote. Oluomo said, if you cannot vote APC, and the Igbos will not join APC, not today, not tomorrow, because APC brought doom. Take it or you leave it. We knew it when they were presenting Buhari. We knew nothing. If you want to know what happens in a nation, call the traders. They know who is who. So when they presented Buhari, we knew it's bad news. We didn't support it. Then when it was time for Baba, of course we also know the kind of a person he is and what he can offer. Somebody came out to threaten fellow citizen, an abomination, unheard of that. If you cannot, a Nigerian, vote a particular political party,
and it's still ongoing. Actually,
you cannot.
This is that one.
So now this thing, okay, now that one, yes, the 1 and 2 is also on. In fact, Bayo Anonuga said Igbos will never be allowed to vote in Lagos again. What has now talking about the senators? What has representation got to do with it? This one now. Now we are talking about leave representation. There is corruption everywhere. Do you challenge the Yoruba senators what they do with their money, or the outside senators? It's not particular. They are all senators. They do whatever they want with their money. We are not concerned. Our concern is after election. Why do you attack these particular people? Why do you make them feel unwanted? Why do you make them feel like strangers? So it's quite different. We are talking about that is why we're angry. You are trying to present the challenges. Somebody says, no, stop saying that. It's because you are saying that. That's why you are being treated like that. But that is true. So they downplay. They intentionally do this on us. And they use propaganda and media to downplay what we are feeling. Yorubas are in the most of bricklayers, mechanics. If you enter flight today going to Enugu, you see more of Yorubas. Have you ever had attacks on them? They do have businesses in the Southeast. Have you ever had? Do you think they don't cast vote in the Southeast? Have you ever heard anybody say, don't cast votes?
See,
we need to take phone calls.
Okay.
You would help, please. 0821 08036929933. That's the number to call. 08036929933. 08036929933. All right, and the WhatsApp number is 081717563338. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Welcome, sir. Please, what's your name?
My name is Austin.
Austin, location, please.
Satellite.
All right, Austin, please go ahead.
Esther, we can liken Igbo existence and Yoruba existence to water and oil. The two cannot blend. In fact, let's make it general. It's not just Igbos and Yoruba. If these three major ethnic groups, Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa, these three major ethnic groups cannot coexist. Take it or not.
That's right.
But they have intermarried. Children have been born out of this union. They're coexisting.
Both of them fought for
independence. Forget about that. When I say coexisting, I mean peaceful coexistence.
Okay.
See, I'm a victim of what I'm trying to explain to you right now. I once worked in an organization in this Lagos, a corporate organization for that matter. I think we are just at about 2 or 3 Igbo people in that company. If I tell you the hate treatment these people meted on me simply because I'm an Igbo origin, yes, I won't believe it. Because there's no time. Otherwise, I would have narrated the story to you.
These are personal experiences.
Can I go ahead?
Go ahead, sir.
Good. Well, I was sick. I went to my manager's office and told him I needed to go and take treatment. He reluctantly asked me to go. Then when I went, finished my treatment, in fact, doctor was not supposed to discharge me after the day he discharged me. Because I was the one that forced him to discharge me, that they gave me a few days to take my treatment. So when I resumed with my doctor's report, the first day I entered the office, I saw my manager greeted him. Guess what his response is? Mr. Austin, you get a query from me. That was his response. I said, okay, no problem, go ahead and give me a query. My God will respond to you. My God will also give you your own query. So to cut the long story short, this man gave me a query. Copied not just my immediate manager, as a branch manager, he copied my area manager. What was his intention? He wanted me to leave that job. Now, this kind of hate treatment, he has never tried it to any other Yoruba person. Of course, they can't do that. They speak the same language. But because I am of Igbo origin, that was why I was treated the way I was treated. Eventually, he left the system. So that thing he was praying for me, it backfired. So what am I trying to say? Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa, we are like oil and water. We cannot blend, take it or not. So it is high time we disintegrate. It is high time everybody goes their own separate way. And let me say this.
We can't preach disintegration, please. All right? This is not a platform.
I wanted to ask that man.
This is not a platform where we preach disintegration. Nigeria is one. It's in the constitution. Until that constitution is changed. unless it is no longer in the
it exists on paper. We need to practice it.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome.
I'm calling from
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Can you speak louder, please? You sound very low.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What is your name, sir?
My name is Ade.
Ade, location, please, Ade.
From Ikorodu.
Ade, please go ahead.
Esther, see, let me tell you something about this country.
Yeah.
This Nigeria is just like one man's country. The reason is that there's some law that holds some people, and there's law that doesn't hold people. Some people make the law, and some people are above the law.
Right.
For example, the time of that election that you're talking about, it's not even Olu. It was done even in Ikorodu that all the chairman was saying, if you can't vote for APC, you will leave what you are doing. And this is very, very wrong. So I don't believe that Nigeria can be in a better way because the way the leaders are doing, as the leaders are doing, is wrong. So that is for me.
All right, thank you, Adi. Thank you for calling, all right? 080-3692-9933. That's the number to call. And the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756-338. Hello, good evening. How are you? Wow. Please, can you turn down the volume of your radio, please? Hello.
This is John Legend.
Welcome.
Calling from Mushi.
Welcome, John Legend.
Madam Pinto, good evening, and Mr. Ekundayo, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
You see,
Well done.
for the way Nigeria is now, I understand everything. But one proverb says that two wrongs cannot make a right. If we continue in this topic, it might trigger to something else. I know that is the simple way that our politicians are using us. Tribal sentiment. I have some Yoruba people that as my friends. I have some Yoruba people I've been working with. I even have some Yoruba people as a student in my own office because I've taught so many jobs based on my own skill. So what we are looking at now is that a better Nigeria. Since we are still in Nigeria, we don't have any other place except this country. So the only option for us to do is that how we can make Nigeria move forward, how we can push this country forward. If we are talking about this tribalistic, and most of these guys are doing this, so many of them are Aburos. Not somebody that is in the government office is not Aburo. So many of them have the Aburo mentality in them. It's not as if that somebody that knows how to read and write is that person is educated. That is why most of us in this country, we are not educated. Because if we are educated, the current president that is ruling us today, he shouldn't have been there. So we should amend our ways and try to stop all this tribal sentiment. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John Legend, for calling, all right? Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello, please turn down the volume of your radio. Hello?
Good evening, Esther.
Good evening, sir. What's your name, please?
Yeah, this is Martin from Go.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Kundayo.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Madam Pinto.
Well done, sir.
The truth of the matter is that the issue on ground has a lot of parts. But what I really want to say is this. I've been in Lagos since 1985. Lagos has not been as terrible as it is.
It is, that's right.
Up to this very moment, we had Bola Tinubu as a president, or when he started vying for that post. Actually, the hatred among the tribes are more before within the common class, the Abro, the low-level people. But Tinubu's ambition to ascend to the presidency, popularize it, heighten it, made it more official.
You're right.
So much more that you hear people like Bayo can say it without any regard for anybody. And nobody cautions, nobody retracts, nobody challenge. Oba, we say it without anybody challenge, without retracting. Olomo, we say it. And like Mother Pinto said, I was here in 2023 when the governorship election was conducted. A lot of people were, injured. A lot of people were maimed because of that election. And up to today, there was no redress and there was nothing of compensation or anybody talking about it. The best way, as far as I'm concerned, is that if they want the narrative to change and if they want us to be as a nation, let people from the top begin to, bring up a thing that will, pacify those that have been injured, those that have been marginalized, those that have been even shut down when it comes to campaigning and all those things. And most of these things are done to the Igbo. That is the truth about it. I have been in Lagos since 85. The whole thing has been done much more on the Igbo than any other state. And I want to say this lastly. If you look at Lagos as a state, Igbos has contributed a lot when it comes to internally generated revenue. I can say on air here, other tribes that are in Igbo have not, most especially the northern tribe, don't contribute what the Igbos are contributing. Yet, Igbos are the ones that are receiving more insult, more damage, more humiliation in Lagos State.
All right,
Thank you, please.
you. Thank you for calling. Hello, good evening. How are you? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good evening. What's your
Hello?
name? I can hear you.
Yeah,
What's your
good
name?
evening.
Good evening. Go ahead,
Hello?
please. What's your name? Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Uche, actually. I'm calling from Beju, Lekki.
All right, please go ahead.
I'm a first-time caller.
Wow, welcome. Welcome, Uche.
Yes.
Thank you for joining
I
us.
beg.
Nice
I've been
helping.
listening to your program,
You're
and I
welcome.
would like to go easy on it as a Nigerian.
Okay.
Make I use broken, make I use pidgin English. You see, this tribal sentiment of a thing
Yeah.
is becoming too worrisome. You understand? Me, I dey talk out of experience. You understand? One thing about tribalism is in the mindset, and one thing about it is when I went to the east the last time, as I go east, you understand, as Igbo man where I be, born in Lagos State, I was surprised. I did very surprised to meet the Yorubas over there. And meeting them, I met one of two of guys over there, and they were like, they were living comfortably, like they no get worried. Even say one of them was like, he spoke with his people, and they were asking him to come home, to come back home, and he was like, no, he's going nowhere. He's a carpenter there in Oka. You understand? So to cut the whole story short, actually, one thing is one of my friends, now Hausa guy, you understand, born in Lagos State, we were born in the same area. He told me something. He said, you see, people they see the Igbos and the Hausa as enemy. That no, it no be like that. Say normally the Hausa and the Yorubas they hate each other as the way Igbo and Hausa take be. People they take the same. Then he give me instances. He said, if you come to the house of the Hausa as Hausa man wey him be, and you be Hausa pikin, you dey do anyhow, they will be like, why you dey do like Yoruba? Like, why you dey do like these people? Then he give me another instance, like, okay, an Hausa man go spit here now, a Yoruba man go like, go dey irritated. You understand? But if you go for their house 2-3 days, you will say they will leave shit inside their house or something like that. You understand?
Okay,
So the thing is, these two people, I mean these three people, Hausa, Igbo, and Yoruba, they can never become one.
But
We are just forcing ourselves to be one. We can never be one.
They
You
have
understand?
intermarried. They
Like
have
what
given birth to
Madam
children
Pinto has
together.
rightly said, it is in the paper, and that is it. So please, I think I would like to cut off here. Please try and understand me. We can never be one. That is all I'm trying to say.
We have to
Thank
strive
you.
to be. Thank you. We have to strive to be. Hello, good evening. How are you?
Good evening.
Welcome.
Sir.
Yes, sir. What's your name?
Thank you, Madam. My name is Koka from Ojo. Madam
right.
Peter, good evening.
Good
All right,
evening,
go ahead,
sir.
Coca.
Ogakunda, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Well, this issue, Igbo, Yoruba dichotomy, it is a narrative or it's something that is being propelled by the APC.
Yeah, to some
Because,
extent.
yes, and it's all because of election. Many Yorubas, even on the election day, did not like what was happening on that election day.
True.
Like in my own polling unit, in fact, they almost fought us. Because we told them, why are you segregating? Let these people go and vote for the person of the church. It came to a point they had to start telling us too, that after all, you are not from Lagos. Go to your own state. Yes.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
That you are not from Lagos. I'm not from Lagos. I should go to my state.
Are
Yes.
you serious?
Yeah, I'm very serious. I'm telling you. We should not be carried with these narratives. We should understand. Many Yorubas don't like what happened that day. We had to leave our polling unit when we saw that, they were gathering against us. So it is an issue that APC brought about. If you check during this Second Republic, we don't have this issue.
Yeah. True.
You understand? That was in 1979, 1983.
Even early 2000.
People go and vote.
2000.
But recently, all these things just started happening. So we should not be carried away with these narratives. That is my own contribution. So if you check around, many Yoruba people still want the Igbo people to vote for their people, a person of choice. But it is the APC government that will start coming out. No, we don't want. They are go to your land. Go. If each time you try to say no to it, they will tell you that you are not from Lagos. They go to your own state.
All right.
Thank you very
much for calling. All right. 080-3692-9933. That's the number. 080-3692-9933. Hello. Good evening. Well, turn down the volume of your radio, please. Hello. All right. 080-3692-9933. That's the number. And the WhatsApp number is 0817-1756.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. How are you? What's your name, sir?
Hello.
I can hear you, sir. Go ahead. Yes, sir. What's your name, please? I can hear you, sir.
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Very well. What's your name, sir? Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Emeka.
Your name is what, sir? The network.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you say your name is what, sir?
Okay, good. If you can hear me, I cannot really hear you, but if you can hear me, let me go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, good. The issue is that you guys are actually doing a very good job there.
Okay.
I really appreciate you guys. Your guest, I don't remember his name. You guys are doing a very good job. I really appreciate you guys. God will continue to bless to keep you guys.
Amen.
So back to the issue of Nigeria and Yoruba, Igbo and Hausa. We cannot be one. We can never be one. The handwriting is clear on the wall. It is so clear that even the government, even a blind man can see it, that Nigeria can never be one. Because right from childhood, if you do something, growing up those days, when I was still a child, my dad will always tell me, if your brother do something, always support your brother, no matter how it is. So imagine, growing up, I've come up with that mentality. If I see an Igbo man, I support him. But in as much as I know he's doing the right thing. Do you understand? So talking about Yoruba, Hausa, and Igbo, we can never be one. We just try to continue preaching all of this from now to thy kingdom come. We can never be one. It's just better for everybody to go his way. That's when peace can reign.
Wow.
Thank you.
After how we have intermingled, after how far we've come, okay. All right. Hello. Good evening. Welcome to the Evening Rush. What's your name, please?
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good
What's
evening.
your name?
I'm Emeka calling from Lekki.
Emeka from Lekki. Emeka, please go ahead.
Okay. So, I greet all of you wait there for that studio.
We welcome you. You did welcome.
Okay. So, for the issue we have, as you see, we human beings, we Nigerians, we cannot be whiter than God. Before the white man came, before the white man came, there is this process that we are into. Before the white man came to our land, we need to go back to that thing. It's not about whether you are Hausa or Yoruba or you are anything. We need to reset ourselves back to the abolition, the original thing we are doing before that white man came. That is the only way. Yeah, that is the only way that we can grow together. Everybody will stay on their own simultaneously. This person will grow, this person will grow, that person will grow. Let us stop this. Nigeria is a creation of a white man. How can we, the black people, trying to defend what we did not create? I'm tired of creating this thing to people. How can you defend what you did not create? Nigeria is a creation of a white man. Nigeria needs to be dismantled. The 2014 confab by Jonathan, that was what is in that confab. The confab was to let everybody to stay on their own and pay tax to the center. So these things will continue to reoccur. You understand? It can never stop. The only way to be able to minimize the whole thing is for everybody to stay on their own. That is the only truth of this matter.
All right, thank you for calling. 080-3692-9933. 080-3692-9933. Hello, welcome. What's your name? Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Mr. Okudele.
Calling from where, Mr. Okudele?
Calling from Alagbado.
All right, Mr. Okudele, please go ahead.
Yeah, I greet your guest.
Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
You see, the issue that you people are discussing this night is good. But there is one thing we should know. The problem of this country lies on our politicians. They are deceiving us. Through the election period, they will make us become an enemy. But during a football match, Nigeria will become one. The only thing that unites Nigeria is a football. This Nigeria played a paper, this, that. Nobody remember that we are no more one again. See, there's one thing that Abu Roman told me, my customers, they told me one hour that they are planning for us 2027. That what happened in 2023 will never repeat himself in Lagos again. They're not hiding it. They say we should prepare. That what happened in 2023 will not happen again in Lagos. And I ask the question, what happened then? They say because we won day here. I say, okay, by the grace of God, I build house in Lagos. I build my own house in Lagos. I'm not living in somebody's house. You cannot send me away here. This is where I came and I become a landlord here. I'm not living in your house. I paid you before I build a house, so you cannot tell me what to do in my house. Whoever that I choose to vote, I vote for. Before 2015, I campaigned for Buhari and Dambode. 2019, I campaigned for Buhari. That's why my brother is a vice presidential candidate. I campaigned for him. Had it been that APC brought Osubanjo, I will campaign for Osubanjo because I know I have tested him and trusted him. The problem that most of us are talking about Tinubu, we are here when Tinubu ruled in Lagos. When Marwa handed over to him, he did not do anything. Well, the only thing we enjoy here is tax. And the same thing I'm repeating today. So why do you force people to go and vote somebody that they don't want to vote? A vote is choice.
All right,
it's who you like that you vote for.
Thank you for calling. There is something though. There's a misconception here. The 2023 presidential elections, Lagos State wouldn't have been won by the Labour Party if majority of the Yorubas, the Southwesterners, did not contribute.
I keep saying it now.
There is they voted more than the
that's what I'm trying to wonder.
What is even the population of the outside
for this? If that is basically the reason for this, there is no how that it was only a particular tribe that enabled.
But is it not madness, sister? Is it not madness for a fellow human being to dictate you who to vote?
Well, that's
how bad it is.
That's why I keep saying that.
And then come 2027, we're going to vote. We'll come out and vote.
Hello, good evening.
How are you? Good evening.
Good evening. Okay. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. My name is Delphi, and I'm calling from Satellite Town.
All right, go ahead, sir.
I think, to me, it is we are discussing.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Your network is poor.
Oh, you can't hear me, right?
You're breaking.
You can't hear me, right?
Continue. It's clear now.
I'm saying it's a pity that we're discussing issues at a time like this as a nation. I was here when M. Abdullah contested the election in, I think, 1993 or thereabout. I was also here when Fashola contested as governor. Let me stop at this. These two people, I know my own personal contribution in supporting and promoting them. Then all what we wanted was good governance. We just wanted Nigerians to get quality leadership. All this continued. There were no until 2020.
Your network is poor. Your network is very poor.
2024.
Something that makes sense.
It actually started
2014.
Yes.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome.
Yeah. Madam Pinto, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Mr. Lawala, the greeting.
Good evening, sir. Ndewo.
Yeah, Ndewo. Yes. What I want to say is this. You see, 2023 election. My brother living at Iba Junction. I called him. Have you people vote? He said, for where? you said you are voting inside a one-man compound. They will ask you if you are not voting for APC. If you want to stay alive, better go your house if you are not voting for APC. You say that's what they are telling them. So when they look, they cannot vote for APC. They go back to their houses. Imagine, is that the way to practice democracy? And all these things, nobody is talking about it. Everything just died like that since that 2023 up till now. One man, one Oba in an island, Ajaside, he was telling the Igbos that if we eventually vote for any other person, in short, all these shops, I will remove you people from there. Imagine threatening people where to vote. Is that how it's supposed to be? After the election, everything just died like that. This 2027 is going to be the worst. One man have already said, one caller have said it now. He said that they are telling them that 2023 cannot repeat itself. That they should go and ready and we will go and ready. Imagine this type of thing. And you say that we are one. Esther, we are not one. Oh, I know that you are doing your journalist work. We are not one. So how can you be threatening people like that? Does it mean that Yorubas are not in the East? Are they not voting there? Who disturbed them? Nobody. Imagine.
Doing their business, so.
Thank you very much, my sister. Yeah, Yoruba people, if you go there, they are the one roofing people's house. Nobody disturb them for one day. People, they are doing bricklayers, they are doing everything. They are the one that are doing all the whole roofing, everything, POP, this and that. But if you go there, you see them. But let's see someone that is not traveling. It's very, very bad. I don't know the type of country that we are in. Thank you very much, Esther.
Thank you very much for calling, all right? Thank you for calling. Let me read out some messages. I'm going to start from WhatsApp. All right, good evening, VOP fans and guests. The only problem we're having in Nigeria in terms of ethnic division is caused by political office holders. Some of these unscrupulous politicians are the ones dividing us along ethnic lines to their own political interests. We have lived and coexisted for years without hearing these kind of things, married each other. The current selfish politicians are responsible. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Comrade Abraham. All right, welcome, comrade. Good evening, Esther and the guests. So Wike is telling us that if Obi happens to be a member of the APC, the Edo governor would have spoken that way, Abi. Does Wike himself take permission from other state governors before entering their states? Is it what our constitution said? Wike, first comment on the land issue you were accused of allocating illegally to your sons, and stop speaking on every matter that concerns other people. Are you not a hypocrite? Tony from Okota. All right, good evening, house. Lolo Neka, no. Mr. Lawal, good evening, sir. Esther, do you know that I was going to tell you this evening to invite Madam Pinto? I'm so happy she came. Madam, welcome. You see from Ijegun, good evening. Saying that our representatives don't push for the benefits of the Easterners is not true. Do you know how many times Senator Tony Umuyi, Abaribe, etc. have raised a very important issue in the House for the benefits of the Igbo people and they are shut down? My sister, we're taking note of what's happening in Nigeria. It's a matter of time. All right, okay. Good evening, Esther. Good evening to you. Good evening, Esther, Madam Pinto, and Mr. Ekundire. Solomon Asika from Mushi. Madam Pinto, you have said it all. Because whenever any senator from the Southeast tries to push a bill in the National Assembly, they were being shut down. Take Obi, for example. Don't you see how he's been boxed and in a quagmire? As for the governors in the East, not saying anything about their attacks by Fulani headers in the East, it's because of the incentives given to them monthly by the federal government, which Al-Rafah revealed recently, of which they don't want to lose out of it. Good evening, Esther. Please wait. It's the same Southeast region that this woman is fighting for. They only employ indigenes of their own state, not even from other Southeastern states. It recently happened in Anambra, Ebonyi, Tunde from Ijegun. Good evening, Esther. I greet your guest. My name is Gabriel from Ikorodu. I kept hearing from most of your analysts and most of the callers that Mr. Peter Obi cannot do this or that, and that he's too quiet or gentle. These men that hold these views don't really know Mr. Peter Obi very well. He has that gentle look, but his capacity is without doubt. I kept saying this, we in this country don't really know what we need. We're calling for a new Nigeria. We can't even have it when we still wish to have these old men with old mindset of violence, crookedness, rascality, bribery, unaccountability, and incredibility. Anambra State that Peter Obi governed for 8 years is where you have the wealthiest set of people and the most influential and the most insubordinate people in Igbo land. It takes a hard man with capacity to govern Anambra State. If he did in that kind of state, he can replicate same in Nigeria. Madam Pinto, I disagree with you that British government joining with Hausas to raise a census to take over some villages and community in Igbo land. One thing you need to know is that the Nigerian army had been a stronghold that keeps this country moving. Do you know that there are too many Igbos in the Nigerian army that speaks Hausa language more than the real Hausa people? They even claim indigenous people of Hausa. Therefore, only true love and brotherhood will keep Nigeria united. God bless us all. Akaniro Kingsley from Yaba. Good evening, Esther, and the guests in the studio. Esther, sometimes don't blame the rulers from the north and southwest. We from the southeast, we have governors, senators, House of Reps. What are they doing for their people from the southeast? If they are not given a chance to air or represent their people, they can stage a walkout as protest. Many of our so-called rulers from the southeast are being forced on us so that they can be manipulated. The hatred against the Igbos is widely open because of enviness against them. The only three Igbo men we have in the house is Eyenaya Baribe and late Chukwuma. Okay, Chukwumerije. We shall surely be free one day by the grace of God. Mayor from Ikotoegbe. Good evening, Esther. Federal government only take from Southeast what they give is military, paramilitary who come to Southeast and are reported that they are once causing insecurity. Igbos are treated as unwanted in Nigeria. When they cry, shout, the same people turn around to attack them. OMC from Ogba. Alright, good evening, Esther. Tell Lolo that she is making my day tonight. I really appreciate her. I listened to her this morning during Ogendibo. 2. The whole world should hear us witness that President Tinubu has treated Southeasterners very bad, even more than the late President Muhammadu Buhari.
That's right.
This is Chooks from Ushidi. Good evening, Esther and crew. When critics are bent on taking mischief route, they will criticize even snail for being slow. Set of hypocrite always have allergies to good information. If it has been negative news, they would have been very active. Now Fund is for all citizens. This is from Emmanuel. All right. Good evening, Esther, Madam Pinto. Madam, you are on point. The evil seed of division was sowed by the politicians, especially the current administration. Chris from Ojo. Esther, if according to the woman that the governors are afraid of rigging, that is why they could not talk to power, that is a fallacy. Is it only in the East they rig elections? Even if they rigged election, is it in favor of the Yoruba or the Northerner? Is it not still Igbo that is there? For me, let this woman come out and challenge their governors. Let them speak like Senator Ali Ndume. All right. Ekwerimadu was, good evening, Esther, Madam Pinto. If Soludo said that it was Igbos are doing almost all the kidnapping, why didn't he take them to court and make the people known, irrespective of tribe and religion? No tribe or state that doesn't have criminal elements. Rochas Okrocha exposed criminals openly and even demolished their father's house for the whole people to see. Soludo that lied against Peter Obi and his investment for Anambra State multiple times to make Tinubu happy and keep his mandate can say anything against the Igbos. Senator Baribe has been speaking against what's happening in the Southeast and the bad treatment against Igbos. Ordinary recognized Humphrey Nwosu. They unitedly called him a coward in the National Assembly, and Oshomole led the insult. Ekwerimadu was beaten up because he refused to fight for Igbos as a deputy Senate president. That one we saw it in the UK. That moment, a hand clap. I think this person is clapping. That moment, Mr. Ekudaya comes in with his Abito Shika. Okay, this is from Andy. Good evening, Esther Wachuku. The solution of the Igbo problem is Biafra. Kingsley from Surulere. Every ethnic victimization and intimidation and oppression of Igbos in Nigeria originated from PMB and Tinubu, because none of this happened during OBJ, Yanodwa, and Jonathan PDP's government. APC is very tribalistic party, unlike PDP that is for all Nigerians. Nigerians will speak come 2027. Jerry from Ikeja. Awolowo, Buhari, Tinubu, and Kwankwaso are siblings of one character in common, while Zeke, Obasanjo, Yar'Adua, Oshibanjo, Atiku, Obi are also siblings with one character in common. Discuss extensively. 50 marks. Mark from Ikpaja. Alright, I strongly believe that the problem of marginalization and tribalism is the fault of our politicians. Why is it that there is no such in our churches? A mosque, but immediately campaigns start now. We'll start hearing Southeast, Southwest, South, Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. It is better the government scrap all these things.
It's worse in our churches.
Some people don't know, especially those who are not into
since politicians have entered churches now, mosque.
Let's have a United States of Nigeria remove state of origin from Matthew Chikodi. They will not agree that you remove state of origin. When you get to hear something every now and then, you feel sympathy and understanding until it becomes an unpleasant song. When you settle down to look at things critically and ask yourself which region in Nigeria is not being marginalized, is it the people of Benue facing daily killings, the people in Jos who are living in hopelessness, or those in other regions who don't even think they have a voice to speak and have resigned to fate. In as much as we know that Igbos face some kind of issues, what issues did they also create themselves? It would be ridiculous and hypocritical to always ascribe everything into persecution. The governors and senators of the Southeast, are they not Fulani mixed Yoruba, or their interest was made in the Hausa Yoruba laboratory? Please, please, in as much as we know how things are in Nigeria, a persistent one-sided view would be seen as myopia. The Southeast, would you prefer coming from Benue, Zamfara, or Edo states? This is from Tay. Esther and the guests, good evening. People should stop gaslighting the Igbos. Relationship is built on trust. When was the last time we had Igbo president? Is that by accident or design? I analyze the Nigerian political landscape and I realize that there are deceits living together. They want to go their separate way. You said no. Give them the opportunity to be the head of state or hold important positions, yet you said no. Yet you want them to follow the bandwagon. I am not an Igbo by tribe, but the sidelining, marginalization, and hypocrisy is palpable. Those sweet words by your Yoruba guest doesn't hold water. The truth is that if the Igbos are not good or trusted enough to govern the entire country, then give them the liberty to self-determination. Ola from Egbeda. Good evening, Esther Wachiku. Kudos to the woman representing the Igbos. Your guest representing the Yorubas and all the tribes, Mr. Ekundayo, is to me, the woman is representing the Igbos well. I don't even know why. Okay, all right. Thank you. Alex Solomon from Anita Isheri Oshun. All right, well done. Thank you. Esther, the Igbos are not trusted in Nigeria after the Civil War. The Igbos should learn to be diplomatic and play along with the Yorubas and the Hausas before we can be politically relevant. All right. Good evening. Solution. The rest of the country must hands off. Apologize to the Igbo and allow the Igbo to take over power and management of resources for some measurable number of years with the aim to forgive back and unify all again. Are they ready to pay the sacrifice? Look, you better take needed education on the ethnic divisions in Nigeria, being that the organs, security agencies, and all the paraphernalia of the Nigerian government have been, in unwritten form, structured in order to work against the Igbo. The other regions who have conspired against the Igbo have this information and have continued to deceive the gullible Igbo to continue to think the polity is one or can be. They believe they have captured the resources by having stealthily implemented their wrong policies after the Civil War, and if they stop, the country will break. Do you think you can say that the Edo State governor said and wouldn't have been invited by the DSS or be defended by the president as represented by Wiki, the FCT minister? Don't be fooled and have the education even if you don't want to do back. Tochukwu Adile Thompson from Obanikoru. All right. Good evening, Esther, Mrs. Pinto, and Ekundaya. Please, Esther, help me tell Mr. Ekundaya that those representatives from Southeast are not representing us, rather representing their belle and pocket. This is Paul from Agor Palace. We're calling them out like we call former governor of Abia State and current Imo State governor still, Paul from Agor Palace Way. Good evening, Esther. I concur with what Mr. Austin said. When I was in secondary school, a public school in Lagos, Igbo students were bullied and marginalized by the Yoruba teachers and students alike, to the point they said Igbo students cannot be perfect, and even the ones that were perfect were given roles like lab perfect. The tribalism and marginalization needs to stop so that we can coexist peacefully, or they should let everyone go their separate ways. Good evening, Esther, and everyone in the studio. Please, the mindset, both Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, never be one. The only way out is to divide. Victor from Ogun State. Good evening, VOP. I'm from Ondo. My parents adopted 2 Igbos during the Civil War. They bear my family name till today. They're also part of my father's will. There is curse from my dad that if any member of the family we say they're not part of us. What is the solution to this evening's discussion? Stephen Akimbishola from Ijegun, Lagos. Stephen, we'll go to that once we're rounding up. We're going to ask what the solution would be. Thank you so much for that beautiful question. Good evening, VOP. The ambition of Tinubu has brought hatred amongst Nigerians. In the long reign of PDP, we never had it this bad. All the Tinubu thugs should know that there is no monopoly of violence. Good evening to you all. Nigeria is only one on paper. The truth needs to be told. Is a white man that created this issue for us because of their own selfish interest. Even God didn't join us together. Folarin Keshi Olakunle from Surilere. All right, let me take some SMSs now because we really need to round off. A lot of you chop me around now if I don't read out these messages. Okay, Esther, good evening. How do you do today? Onyeze, thanks. Thank you so much. I'm fine. Good evening. My name is Samulaki Wumi. The problem we're having in the nation is selfish interest. All right, thank you so much, Samuel. In Nigeria, we are not one. Who is this? You didn't tell us your name. Evening to you all. Okay, evening to you. We tell ourselves the truth and do the right thing. This grammar will continue. We should do the right thing. Peace can never be peace. James, Esther Bobo. We Esther Bobo. Okay, Esther Wachiku, good evening. Please, my dog in the house cannot stay in peace with a dog or Yoruba person because of it. What is wrong with you people? Okay, what is all this? You guys, I'm back. Stop all this. All right, good evening, Esther. Please, if Igbo should leave Lagos, good evening, Esther. You keep saying we have to strive to be one Nigeria, but the truth is you can't force it, and we have to say things the way they are. We have to look at what's best, and if it means going our separate way to stop the bigotry and keep our lives safe, then it's not an evil thing to do. Greetings to Madam Pinto and Mr. Lowell. Madam Pinto, how do we resolve this very quickly?
Well, unfortunately, Nigeria was not actually designed to work, or we can make it work. We can take that decision.
Okay.
Good enough. With a lot of us have come to that realization that this is a country, and let me tell you, the ethnic division and religious division is not by the people; it's by politicians, largely by politicians. I have a lot of Hausa friends. I have a lot of Hausa customers. Now, when we relate, we are happy with each other. We don't quarrel. We don't even remember I'm Hausa, I'm Igbo. If you go to Jalaba International Market, Hausas and Igbo mix very, very well. If you go to Wodo Nuri Market, if you go to all the market, you see us doing our business and relating, and we are happy. Now, but once it comes to election, that is when you hear more of this. And the thing built over a period of time. And even the 1966 coup too. It's also politics. Awolowo going to prison and they're trying to bring Awolowo out of prison and Awolowo coming out of prison. And the war. It's politics actually. That actually caused the war. That was the beginning of the war when there were a lot of opera in the southwest. And Awolowo went to prison after the election. And this has been built over tribe and again religion. So now that we've come to that realization that these people are just using us, and we are now clamoring for taking Nigeria back, trying to see if we can salvage this situation. I think everybody should rise and let us see what we can do in 2027. If we have a good candidate, let us leave sentiment, tribe, religion aside and rally around whoever we think will do better and vote him into power. And let me tell you, leadership has a lot to do with what is happening in Nigeria. If we get a good leader that will steer the ship, yes, a lot of...
Yeah, thank you. What I see as the main cause, as it's been said, is about politics, divide and rule. Politics is about ruling people, and then when you create divisions among them, you are able to rule them successfully. Because instead of them focusing on you, they'll be focusing on themselves, and you can have your way. Like when we got independence, we were regions. Everybody were doing their own thing.
What's the solution?
Yes, I know. No, I'm saying that they were developing at their own pace. You make your resources, develop your area. But it was okay. There was no ethnic division. In fact, they'll be inviting you to come to their own area. Igbo will be inviting Yoruba to come and do business because they know when you do business, you make money from them. Igbos will be inviting Yoruba. But when the politicians realize that this, for them to be able to rule, they need to divide that thing and create problems. So that's why they came in. So that presidential system of government was brought in illegally through the back door, which was not right, was not good for Nigeria. It was brought in by the junta, this thing of Obasanjo then. When he was handing over to China, he brought presidential, which was not good for Nigeria.
So what do we do?
Now, the thing we need is still the constitution. The constitution is a constitution of dictatorship. The constitution is the one that is dividing us, and the politicians put it there to succeed in what they do. We need to discard this constitution, bring in the proper constitution that we took that we use for independence.
All right,
That's the
thank you
one
so
that should work for us.
Thank you so much, Nigerians. God bless you. Day from Lagos. Sorry, we've actually run out of time, but I think from the general, what you mean is the fact that this happened during the 2023 elections. And thank you so much for all your messages and calls. Sorry, we can't take everything. We run out of time. All right, my name is Esther Wachuku, ASTIQMEDIA on YouTube. On Facebook is at Esther Wachuku. On Instagram, Esther Nwaz, ESTANWAZ. And obviously, follow us at VOP 903 FM. Oh, your social media handle? You don't have?
No, I have.
Okay.
Actually, I'm trying to remember.
Just remember the common one.
Love
Facebook
Studio. My Facebook is Nek Wakona.
All right. What about you, Mr. Lawal Kundayo?
Yes, on Facebook.
All right. Nigeria, have yourself a wonderful evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.